So hello there friends, and I wanted to make a quick update on how to make your NFT collection a little bit faster. It's kind of go around system in DAZ Studio. Okay, so let's get started. It's 3D design. So let's add some characters. Let's say I want this cyborg. Let's make it some gray pink color. Let's have a preview in our NVIDIA. Okay, looks good. Let's add some background. So for that, create new primitive. We're gonna use plane, world center, and then let's do Z positive. Okay, that's our plane. Let's put it somewhere at the back. So we need it to be somewhere over here. Okay, now we need to add some background on this plane. So for that we just go here on the surfaces, and I've already downloaded, just simply googled some cryptocurrency backgrounds, and I will need cutout opacity. So here on triangle, browse, and here is my kind of cryptocurrencies. So maybe let's make this one. Okay, let's stretch it a little bit so that the coins look like real coins. Maybe make it slightly bigger. Okay, looks good. Let's see if we can add some emission color. Let's say blue, a little bit lighter. Okay, now let's preview with NVIDIA. Okay, now let's add some lights. I like this one, second circle and butterfly. And we're gonna change our shadows, so we will rotate the dome. Somehow like that. You probably can hear how computer starts to sucking all the air from this room. Okay, so let's change the base color. Let's call it blue. Okay, now let's do one more plane at the background, because if we're going to render right now, then there will be like a PNG file with kind of transparent background, which sometimes is good, sometimes is not, so I don't want it to be transparent, so I'm gonna put one more plane at the back. So create, new primitive, plane, Z positive, accept. Let's switch to texture shaded so that we can give our computer a little bit of rest. So now we're just going to kind of put it behind. Somehow like that. And we're going to move it behind. And now let's assign the color to our plane too. So let's rename this one to BG, big, and let's call it this one BG, small. Okay, so background big. Let's give it some different color. Or actually, we can choose another image. Let's use these coins. Just wondering how it's gonna look like. So let's say if we have something like this, let's have a preview. Okay, looks cool, but I think BG small can go smaller. Okay, let's switch to texture shaded. For one moment I got scared that it's gonna hang, so all what we have to do is just keep saving after pretty much every step. And let's call it whatever, collection file. Let's call it like this, save. Okay, so now let's make these coins smaller, so somehow so that they fit in the screen, maybe like this. Or we can actually change this image, maybe like that. Let's have a preview. Okay, and this one asking to be different color. Yeah, let's have it with metallicity so that it has kind of reflection. And I want our light actually to be from the other side. So let's try to change dome rotation. Like that maybe would be much better. We can also go to environment options. And dome rotation we can change also manually. So I want a little bit more on the face. Like that is perfect. How do you think, guys? Okay. So let's create a camera so that we can move around, and this kind of position would be in the center. So copy active perspective, accept. So now we have a camera, it's right here. Let's switch to the camera, and I think we need to move it slightly up so that it will be in the middle like that. Yep. Then we go to perspective view, we switch back to the texture shaded, and we will make a focus of this camera. So when the camera is chosen here, parameters, camera, depth of field, f-stop I usually do as small as possible, somehow like this. Then focal distance will be on the face right here. Then we can increase f-stop to cover kind of full body, somehow like that. Good. Now we need to make sure we are on the first frame. Yes, we are in our animation. We're not going to do animation, but we're going to do nice 3D NFT. So the main idea is for the head to stay as it is. The most important to don't move the head. You will see why. So now we just can move around the hands. So I think some of the poses they included like a full body, top, bottom, arm left, arm right. So arm left, no, doesn't do nothing. Yeah, because we have a kind of suit and we need to choose this cyborg. Let's try now. Yeah, it works. So let's find a good hand position. No, this is not the good one. Okay, that will go. Then right arm. No. No. I mean, that would be great, but we will have different stuff on the head and then the hand will be just pitching inside. So we need something. Actually, this one. This one also will be pitching a little bit. Let's just make maybe another hand like this. Yeah, you see, when we have this suit, maybe we can switch it off. Then we can move. Yeah, so now we can basically move the hands. So let's move it slightly slower, lower, I mean. Then from the top view, somehow like that. Because I don't want the shoulders to be like super high. Okay, that looks good. Let's switch on our suit back. Great. So let's go to the camera. Perfect. So basically now we have set up the environment for our NFT collection. Now let's preview. Okay, so that will be quite good enough. So let's switch to texture. And now we have to add some clothing. So I have everything sorted and I have this fantasy set. So we start just with the fantasy set. Okay, so now we open our animation. I hope guys you see where it's going. Then I click here to exit any of this. Let's make it shorter. Click here and I just add whatever helmets, whatever headset, anything what related to the head. Let's say this one, Battle Pilot helmet. Okay, so you see it's not parented to the actual character. That's the most important, that this is not parented. Okay, let's change some color for this helmet. Let's say this silver. So right click, select helmet and then click on this silver. So that will be our helmet. Let's see what else we have. Actually, we can do a little bit more helmets. So I click one more time. I select this helmet too. And let's change another color. Some pink for the ladies. Purple. Yeah, let's go with purple. Let's just double click. Okay, so now we have our helmet. Let's use that one. So I click here on the empty space, double click, and here it is. Let's hide the rest. So I select helmet and I change the colors. Let's say that one. That looks good. Let's make one more helmet, but different color. Now when it's selected, I'm choosing another color. Let's say that one. Cool. Now let's go to the next one. Let's use this mask. Does it has any other materials? Golden. Yeah, let's use golden. Okay, let's go to the next. Pirate hat, of course. So the most important that all of them, they're not parented to the actual model. Okay, now we don't have any space to click. Where should I click? If I click here, I'll go on BG Small. Let's try it. Yeah, it's parented. Command Z, clear selection. Okay, that's how we're gonna do it. Double click. Now we have this nice hat. Right click, clear selection, and we go to the next one. I mean, you can do it with sunglasses, everything what you can imagine. What happened here? Okay, whatever, just leave it on. Anyway, we're going to do something. Clear selection. Oh, I like this helmet. Right click, clear selection. Right click, clear selection. Okay, so let's say we added all this stuff. Let's switch it back on. Now, on the very first frame over here, basically we have to... oops. Accidentally, I moved the camera. So, all what we have to do, it's move all this stuff all the way to the app. So, I'm going with the first one, which is Battle Pilot Helmet. And this Y translate, I'm just making, let's say, 1000. Can I copy that? Copy figure, okay. And we go that for the next one, and we just paste. And everything will be the same. Okay, so that will be our first frame with the simple lady on. Then we move this slider to the next frame. Some of the guys already understand what's going on. And then we go one by one. So Battle Pilot helmet will be 0, enter. So now we have the helmet on. Next frame, you can click here like this. So this Battle Pilot helmet will be back to 1000. And this one will be 0. Remove slider, next, 1000. And this one is 0. Next, 1000, 0. And like that we do with all the rest of the helmets or hat. Sometimes you need to adjust, maybe Z translate, like make it more forward, backward, you know. If I'll get to this, you will see. Like you see here, a little bit poking through, so we just make it slightly up like this, so it will be 0.22. Here also a little bit poking through. We can either make a scale a little bit bigger and just maybe move it lower, up, down. Maybe this one, sorry, no, Z. Yeah, maybe make it a little bit more forward. Let's say just like that. Okay, so now we have current 13. So basically we have 14. Maybe we can add something else. Or let's just keep it with 14. Okay, so now we have 14 frames. So total will be 15. Yes, so 0 is like the one, 14 is the last one, so total 15. So we can export that, then we can change the backgrounds. We can change the suit, or we can change the whole character and export that again. And we can continue that exporting, changing, you know, like how long it takes. It's just a matter of minutes. Yeah, it's what this rendering takes the time. So we have this. Let's have a preview. So we go on the very first frame and then we go like this next. Because sometimes they're appearing like hanging somewhere in the air, especially the more heads, let's say, the more frames you have, the more they will appear in the air. For now, you see right now this mosquito, yeah, on this frame, this helmet have to go higher, because you see it's kind of sliding down. So we move it higher, somewhere over here. Now you see this one coming inside, so select this helmet and we move it up. So you need to correct them. Then we go to the next one. So this one also need to be corrected, just like that. And then this also have to be corrected. Just make sure you're choosing the like a main object. And of course, the more you have, the more closer they will be to the body, and then sometimes you will see even 2 objects already coming inside. So that's why preferably to do it 15, maybe 20 maximum, I would say. Okay, 14. I think we need to add some more in order to have total of real 15. Let's just add this simple hat. So we go on the first frame, we add the hat, cancel, clear selection. Okay, we add this hat. Let's put it up. Then we go, let's say here. And then the last one, the mummy head will go up and then the hat will go down. Like that, and move it forward, just like that. Okay, let's have a look one more time. Perfect. So now, when we have everything set up, all what we have to do is go to the renders. Let's save. File, save. That's it. Then render settings. Let's switch to all. Okay, we're gonna make it 1000 by 1000. Then render type, image series. Start from 0 and 414. And let's create a folder. YouTube tutorial collection. Let's make it okay. Then here in maximum samples, let's just make it 1000. We don't need it super extra. I mean, you can make it super extra good quality. It's just gonna take more render time. I will just go with 1000 max samples. And in filtering, I'm going to choose pause denoiser available. And it will kick in at 950. So it's like maximum samples will be 1000. It will be noisy, but at when it's gonna render sample 950 and more, it's gonna add denoiser filter and all the noise will come out, but also some of the details will be out. So let's preview a couple frames so that we know what we are talking about here, what we are going to see. So this is something that we're going to see. You can see I have a corner over here, which is not that good. We can move camera slightly closer, but on the frame number 0, sorry, frame number 0. Okay, that looks good for me. Yeah, this one definitely need to be moved in. So let's go to texture shaded and our camera on frame number 0. We just zoom in a little bit, just like that. That's it, enough. And I think we can start our rendering. File name, need to paste series. YouTube tutorial, something like that. Okay, let's start our render. So it took us only 33 minutes in order to make this kind of 15 people collection. Let's have a look how it looks. I like this one, it's cool. This one also very nice. So that's our 15 pieces. The next we can do with different body and maybe some slightly changes in the background. Instead of blue, we can make it whatever, pink. So I will continue like changing everything. I will make it quite fast forward for you and stick till the end in order to see the results, what we are going to come up with. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I made kind of changes so that they don't repeat some materials. I mean, some models, they didn't have like alternation. So I just went to the surfaces and changed whatever colors I can change. And let's just see how it's gonna look like. I'm gonna change my render settings because it didn't even get to 1000. So I'm going to make it 500. Just for the sake of this tutorial, a little bit worse quality, and then the filtering will kick in 450. So it's gonna be a little bit faster. I guess it's gonna be not 33 minutes, maybe it's gonna be 17 minutes, but let's have a look at it. Okay, so everything's still the same, so let's just file save. Always don't forget to save, because you know this software like to crash. So I just press render right now. So with reducing quality we saved only about 3 minutes, looks like. So let's see. By the way, I made a mistake. I forgot to change the series base name, so I hope it didn't overwrite everything. So let's see. It did. So it did overwrite the whole files, unfortunately. So that's how looks the second collection. And unfortunately the first collection is just wiped out. So guys, don't do this mistake. It's like, it can cost you a lot of trouble. You can see some different changes in this hat. This blue doesn't look quite cool, but still it's okay, it's acceptable. This one looks interesting. So yeah guys, please don't do this mistake. Yeah, that's the only one folder and that's the only files that we've got left. So before you export another, let's call it pack of the NFTs, don't forget to change either this series base name, either make another folder just by clicking plus over here and you will be fine. So that's what we've got, and yeah, it's very important. So thank you for watching. I hope you get the actual idea of how it can be done. And please don't make this crazy mistake one more time. Yeah. And I'll see you in our next video.